Hello everyone. So today I'm just going to be painting in my sketchbook. So I was a bit tired today, and I don't know, I just didn't have the energy to do a big in-depth illustration. So I'm just going to do something spontaneous. Still going to be landscape themed. Um, so I've got myself a spray bottle, and this just came in a pack of 4, and they were quite cheap, and they do the trick. I did have a Derwent spray bottle, um, but it broke. It turns out when you drop it off your desk and it cracks and leaks, and also you also break the inner tube that actually makes it spray. Turns out it doesn't work anymore. So that was my fault. So I'm being a bit more careful with these ones, but they were cheaper, so I'm not saying I'm going to go around trying to break them, but if I did, less money. So anyway, so I'm going to start by just using this to wet this page. I don't know if there's anything on there. Oh yeah, so I do have a new sap green. I replaced my cadmium yellow with a gamboge yellow instead because I really like the colour. You'll see because I think I'll be using it. So I think the only colours I'll probably end up using are the gamboge, sap green and indigo, because it's very rare I paint without indigo. um, so yeah, so I'm going to begin. What was that? Oh, it was on my devices. I don't know if you heard that. Anyway. So, although this is spontaneous, I do want a naturey type theme. So I don't know. I mean, is there a thin line? Because I suppose you could do spontaneous, but still sort of guide it into the painting that you want. So let me. Just going to mix up some colours. So sap green, that gamboge. But be careful though, because as you can see, I've got some green on top of it already, and then that again, but maybe some indigo to make it darker. And I'm going to have to wash off my brush again. I should have got these colours prepared before I started the video, but here we are. Right, so I guess just lay down the colours randomly and see what I can make. Just going to use the spray bottle again. So this is 300 GSM paper in this watercolour journal by Speedball. I'm nowhere near finished yet, but so I'm still working in this sketchbook. Right, so right, so I like how that looks so far. Maybe I should let it dry. I don't know. Maybe some Van Dyke brown in there somewhere, maybe. Oops. I didn't mean to put it in that colour. I had to put except green. So I'm just doing it randomly and kind of hoping that I make something. Because I mean, as of right now, I said that I definitely wanted to do something landscapey, so I am sort of manipulating the lines here. So these are hopefully going to be where I can sort of design putting my trees. Don't know what this could be. Water maybe? I don't know. There's one thing that I wanted to do. Just hang on a minute. Oh, my ring light is shining really brightly. Can you still see? I hope that's not annoying. I don't know where else I can position it so it doesn't do like a glare here. Right, so I just got myself a tissue, paper towel, tissue. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name. Just like a paper towel. And I want to use this to sort of give the impression of mist. Is that too much maybe? Maybe a little bit too much. I mean, if you do things like that and you manipulate it, I don't know, could you still call it spontaneous? I don't know. Right, so I like how that looks so far. It might be time to let it dry and see what I can work with afterwards, because I don't want to go overboard on making it misty, because I want to let it dry so I can see what I'm working with, if that makes sense. I mean, if I want more mist, I can sort of do that same technique later on. So I'm going to let that dry and then I'll be back and we'll see what we can do from there. Back in a bit. Right, so now that it's dried a little bit, or this bit here is still a little damp, and I think it's good. So I've just taken one of my I can't speak. Detail brushes. I got myself a set of detail brushes, and this is a number 3. And that noise in the background is my chair. Okay, so just going to green and more indigo. I also bought an indigo pan for when this runs out, because it's a colour I use a lot. It's funny because when I started first getting into watercolour and understanding different colours, and I never actually used indigo. I was too nervous to, because it looked such a dark colour, and now it's I don't think I've ever done a painting without it. So what I'm going to do is go to an image of putting a tree here. Oh, that's wonky. and just sort of I mean, in all honesty, this doesn't have to be overly detailed or anything like that. So I might do that, but I might sort of maybe if I do this from far away, because I still want it to be loose. Maybe I shouldn't have let the paper completely dry if that was my plan, but that's a bit better, yeah. So maybe I shouldn't have let it completely dry, but that's fine. I could just re-wet it as I go along. And like I said, I can also add some more mist as well if I want to add some more. Just like that. Paintbrush got away from me a little bit there. So this is a obviously it's going to be a real-time video, not a voiceover, so you know I'm actually talking as I'm painting. I don't know how that's going to go because I can't always think of what to say, but I suppose I don't really have to say, you know, tons. I guess if you just want it to be sort of a more casual watch me paint. I'm just going to do the same again where I'm just going to so I really like how that side looks because I like it because of the way the mist is. You can sort of see like these bits here. So it looks like the tree trunks without having to overly define them. And I'm happy with how that looks. So I might not touch that bit again. I might leave it. I'm happy with what it's done. Add a bit more indigo. There we go. I don't want it to go too overboard. Down a little bit. Yeah, just like that. See, I really like how that looks. That side's my favourite. I just like the way it sort of. I don't know. Like I said, the blank bit in between. I'm happy with that. So it's sort of relaxing because you can let the watercolour do the work for you, but you can also still direct it in the places that you want to go. Yeah. So now's the nerve-wracking part because I could just, in all honesty, I could just leave it. It doesn't have to have anything else, but I could also add a little bit. Maybe. only a little bit, because like I said, I like this bit, so I don't want to ruin it. And you can definitely run the risk, of overworking. So I might just do little impressions of some bushes or grass, but I mean that's fine, because I mean you can, again, you don't have to do details, you can leave that to your imagination or what you see. And so I might take a bigger brush and maybe just pull this down a little bit. And then I might have to re-add the mist a little bit at the bottom. So yeah, so I like that. So I've done that. This little grey bit here kind of reminds me a bit of a, like a rock, so I might add a bit of Van Dyke Brown to that indigo just to make a sort of blackish grey colour. And that was probably a risk and probably a bad decision, to be honest. Maybe I can pull it out a little bit with the water. Add a little bit here and there. If I can see if I can get a highlight just here. Yeah, so there you go. I mean, it might not look perfectly like a rock, but yeah. So then I might be, again, running another risk, but I'm inspired to maybe try and sorry, I lost my train of thought there. While I was working on this, I might try and see if I can define a bush behind the rock now that I've got that, oops, that sort of guideline, I guess. Like I said, letting the watercolour do the work for me, and I can sort of work on it. And again, I might just pull this down a little bit, because I still like the wet and wet loose look, so I'm still going to pull this down and pull this up a little bit. Sorry about my chair if you can hear it. And then I get more of my, trying to put more of that mist back in. Oh, and twist my chair around so it doesn't keep creaking against the table. So I think I'm probably going to call that just about finished, unless I can think of something else to try and overwork it with. No, so I think I'm going to probably call that finished. I'm not sure if I can actually see of any other way of adding anything without giving it too much details and overworking it. Maybe she says as she adds more plants. I can just sort of flick this up maybe. No, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop and call that finished. So yeah, I'm going to call that finished. Maybe I should wait until it dries and then show you what it actually looks like when it dries, because obviously my ring light still, if the paper's wet, kind of covers it still. So I just sort of, yeah, I'll see you in a bit. So I will see you in a bit once can't speak, once it has dried, and see how it looks. Okay, so this is kind of what it looks like dried. I did add a bit more of that indigo just here to define some more foliage, and then I did also do a few more details on the trees because I liked how it looked beforehand, which I mentioned, and I thought when I messed around with it again I lost some of them, just added them back in. I did try and maybe influence maybe impression. Oh. Sorry, I can't talk. I can't talk today, this evening. The impression of maybe this bit's water, but I didn't go into too many details. And I've just got these, maybe just to add. These are Polychromo, Faber-Castell Polychromo pencils, and I thought maybe just to a bit of green. I was tempted to, I got a new set of metallic watercolours, not that I needed any more, but sometimes you're in an art shop and you just see them, especially if they're on a deal. If they're on a deal, and sometimes you just get them, even though you probably shouldn't, and that you don't really need them, but I got them. So I was so tempted to add maybe like a golden tree or maybe some speckles. But I kind of said to myself that there's been many times where I've overworked a painting and I've ruined what I was happy with, and I'm really happy with this. So once I've sort of just added a few more details with my pencils, I'm probably going to call it done. I mean, even this bit probably wasn't necessary, to be honest. I just felt like messing around with my coloured pencils. Yeah, so I like the pencils to the trees, not the trees, the foliage here. This bit maybe it wasn't needed. I'm so tempted to, if I did could I do like a sunlight here? Because there's a bit of yellow here where the watercolours. I'm trying to be subtle with it. I don't want it to be. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want it to be overly. Maybe just line it up a little bit. I'm not sure if you can even see it. In person I can see it, but that might just be because I'm the one actually adding it. I think you can see it. Oh, that didn't sound good. It's alright, nothing's broken. I hope you can see that. From where I'm sitting, it looks pretty good. It does look like sun rays. Maybe if I... Oh no, actually no, I'm not going to mess with that. I could ruin it. Wow. That went from subtle to a lot of light rays very quickly. Yep. Just highlights. Okay, so I'm going to call that finished. I'm not sure there's much more else I could do other than probably ruin it. So anyway, so let me know what you think. I hope this was relaxing, or at least enjoyable. This is my finished piece and I'm really happy with it, and it was super fun to do, and I was happy to take you along with me while I did the process. Anyway, so leave me a comment, feel free to subscribe if you feel like it. Okay, have a good night. Bye.